You find something you want. Maybe it's a ticket. Maybe it's dinner delivery. Maybe it's a simple online order you weren't planning to think very hard about. You see the price and it seems fine. Not exciting, not suspicious, just reasonable enough to keep going. So you choose the option, pick the time, add the item to the cart. Then you reach the last screen, a service fee, a processing fee, a delivery charge, tax, maybe a small order fee which somehow manages to sound both official and a little disappointed in you. And suddenly, the number you had in your head is no longer the number on the screen. Nothing dramatic happened. No one jumped out from behind the checkout page. The purchase just became more expensive in several small, orderly steps. That is what can make it feel strange. The first price is often the one that does the emotional work. It is the number that helps you decide whether something feels possible, reasonable, worth it, or simply easy enough not to overthink. Once that number settles in, the rest of the process can feel like continuation. You are not making a brand new decision with every screen. You are moving forward with the decision you already started. Then the total begins gathering itself. A line here, another line there. Depending on what you are buying, some charges may relate to delivery, processing, a service layer, location, or the size of the order. Not every added charge is improper, not every fee is avoidable, and not every transaction can show every part of the final cost in exactly the same way. But it can still feel off when the first price arrives as one thing and the payable total arrives later as another. Because your attention may still be holding on to the earlier number. You may still be thinking this was a $20 purchase, while the final screen is quietly explaining that it is now a $32 purchase. That does not mean you failed to read. It does not mean you were careless. It means the transaction began with one version of the purchase and finished with a fuller one, and those are not always emotionally the same purchase. This is part of what we call fee fog. Fee fog is not simply the existence of fees. It is the experience of entering a purchase with one price in mind, then reaching the end with a higher total assembled through separate layers. The fog is not always about whether the charges are visible. Sometimes they are right there. The fog is often about timing. The first number gets your attention early. The complete number gets your attention later. And later can be a different kind of moment. You may already have pictured the meal, chosen the seat, decided the item was worth it. Now the final total is not asking, would you like to begin? It is asking, would you like to continue? That is a quieter question, and sometimes a harder one to notice. The point is not to become suspicious of every line item. It is not to memorize every kind of fee or treat every checkout screen like a courtroom exhibit. It is simply to notice when the number in your head came from the beginning of the transaction, while the real decision arrived closer to the end. That is the quiet wealth lens. Recognition, not blame. Lower the noise. Keep your attention, and the next time the total changes at checkout, pause for one simple question. When you decided to buy it, what number were you actually agreeing to?